everyone, so I am on to talk about the fourth episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier that's streaming on Disney Plus. And I actually watched this episode late this evening because I spent the day with my parents, and and when they left I watched the episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I have to say that this so far is my favourite episode. I really enjoyed not only the character progression, which I thought they did very good character development within this episode. You can let me know if you agree down in the comments, guys. But not only that, I actually felt that the action was the best, and just overall action, character development, the progression of the characters, I thought was really well handled within this episode. So last week I was saying we got to see Ayo at the very end of last week's episode, the third episode. And this week's episode, we started off in Wakanda, and it said, 6 years ago in Wakanda, which would have been, showing us Bucky's sort of deprogramming, if you want, so to speak. And Ayo give Bucky 8 hours to use Simo before her and, the Wakanda soldiers came for them. And have to say, when that fight scene took place, it was absolutely fantastic. And at that moment I thought, oh, this is my favourite part of this episode. But it ended up being the final fight at the end that was my favourite part of this, which I will actually talk about a bit later on in this review. But we got to see Captain America take one of the blue super soldier serums. He lifted one of them, and what I loved was this episode really showed us a lot more development and back history of Carly's character. She's the leader of the Flag Smashers, and we got to really learn just the history and the backstory as to why she's doing what she's doing and why she feels what she's doing is right. And basically we get to see Bucky, Sam and Simo try to track down Carly so that they can find her in order to get the power broker basically, right? So I love that we got to learn a lot about her character, and I think she's great at playing the role. I don't know the girl's name, the actress's name, but anyhow, I absolutely loved Simo in this episode. I love his coat. I want his coat. I think he is funny. He was funny in this episode because when the fight scene was going on with like Ayo and the Wakanda soldiers and everything, he just closed the two doors with the two knobs as if like, no, I'm just gonna let you keep it on fighting there, guys. Carry on ahead there, work away. I'm just gonna close the door and be a card, and I just took a back seat with this, to be fair. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I loved how we got to see Captain America more in this episode. He kind of took a bit of a back seat in last week's episode, wasn't in it as much. We got to see Captain America more in this episode, which I really liked, alongside Bucky and Sam. And I think that their character progression is fantastic, and they're getting on a lot better now. Like, yeah, they are, like, sort of jabbing at each other, but not as much. Like Bucky even said, oh, you give away the shield or something like that there, and then he said something back to him, and then he said to Sam, well, Steve certainly didn't give it to him, but it's not as hurtful, the jabs, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm really liking that progression. They're getting a bit more closer, and I really, really like that, and that's why I feel they did pay a lot of attention to really focusing on the characters in this episode, as well as the story that we got with this episode as well. So I just super appreciated that. And then we had Carly threatening Sam's sister, and then when they met up at the very end and that we had the fight, that was class. We had the Flag Smashers, we had Captain America, we had Falcon, we had Winter Soldier, pretty much. I thought that was absolutely class, and that was actually better than the other fight, I thought. And it was just really action-packed, this episode. I thought it was very, very enjoyable, guys. And then at the end, we seen, because they killed Captain America's mate, he pretty much went out and got his shield and was like smashing the crap out of this guy and killed him. And it was really cool looking, like it was all this blood over his Captain America shield. and everybody was recording it on their mobile, so that's not good. And if you think about it, you know, obviously he had the super soldier serum in him. You have to think, look how that went for Bucky. Look how that went. He killed Iron Man's parents. So, you know, think of what the serum does to you when it's inside you. Bucky is a perfect example of that, as to how things go. You know, you're not yourself. You're just clearly not. And that was such a sad emotional moment when Robert Downey Jr., you know, like when Iron Man seen that and then realised that it was actually Bucky that done that. That was soul destroying. That was absolutely heartbreaking to watch, you know, as a Marvel fan. But anyways, yeah, interesting ending. I think he's going to end up becoming like a villainous Captain America, and then I think you know, Sam is going to try and get this shield back somehow, because he's not going to want to have this villainesque Captain America. And I think Bucky will probably try to sort of, as a friend, kind of state that to him and kind of say, look, Steve was a very close friend of mine. Steve gave you the shield. You give it up, and this guy's not nice. Like, he's not doing what he should be doing. So why not you try and get it back? Why not fight for it back? So I think that that's what's maybe perhaps going to happen. Another thing that I must research is, I don't know exactly how many episodes we're getting of this, guys, but this was obviously the 4th episode. As I say, I really thought that a lot of attention to detail was put on the story this week, and very much so character development. There was a lot of character development and a lot of character progression, because I kind of felt like we needed to learn more about Carly and her back history and her character in general. So I'm glad that really got focused on. But we got to see a lot of Bucky and Sam in this episode, and we got to see a lot more of Captain America. So yeah, let me know what you think of this. That ending scene was like, whoa, like smacking the heck out of that guy from the Flag Smashers with the Captain America's shield. So yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing next week's, the 5th episode. Let me know if you like this episode. This is definitely my favourite one, and my favourite part of this was definitely the end fight scene. So let me know down in the comments whether, you know, it was a good episode for you, in your opinion. If you didn't really like it or you weren't that fussed on it, let me know. I've spoke to a couple of people so far and they thought it was a bit of a slow burner. I would personally disagree on that, but at the end of the day, we all have our own opinions, and you know, what I love on my channel is getting to hear other people's opinions as well down in the comment section. So yeah, but that's my honest review. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for next week's episode. I absolutely love Sebastian Stan, so I am really enjoying getting to see Bucky. So yeah, guys, that's my review, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.